What's happening, Sean, man? It's Nas Lee 27 in the building, bro. We back here in another video, bro. And it's the week 1 2022 primetime recap of the Sunday night and the Monday night games, bro. Without further ado, man, let's get right to it, man. First game we're gonna talk about the Sunday night game featuring the Bucks and the Cowboys, and the Buccaneers win the Jerry World and came out with the W, bro. One thing I can say about this game was that it didn't live up to the hype it was from last year's season opening, man, when the Buccaneers won the game still, but it was such a high-scoring, entertaining game though to the season open. Like, it just didn't live up to it. It was just a whole bunch of running the ball and just grinding out the clock, and basically it was just a defensive game that just got out of hand and just wanted the QB to just make the play to where they actually win the game. When talking about the Cowboys, Dak Prescott really struggled this game, bro. Like, even before he was yes, he got out with the injury, which I'll talk about that in another video. He actually struggled this whole entire game, bro. He was able to get nothing going. He was missing throws. Even if it was getting the throw, the offensive line wasn't that good. And then of course, the depth the whole roster just felt like it was very thin though. It really felt thin to where the Cowboys can't really get anything going, and none of the actual star players that have just was able to execute the way they should. Yeah, I'll talk about the injury more in depth in another video, but it's gonna suck that the Cowboys are gonna lose Dak Prescott for at least 6 to 8 weeks though, because especially since now that the whole NFC East actually won games Sunday, this is a huge blow for the Cowboys, especially since the roster is not as good as it was last year. Then the QB situation is even worse because that's really the only company QB they have. And I don't know if it's me, but I'm pretty sure I don't believe in Cooper Rush to take him to the promised land. I don't believe that's going to happen, honestly. Now, one of the bright spots on the Dallas defense is, you guessed it, Micah Parsons, bro. But Skip like to call him 11 from heaven, man. But Micah Parsons, he ended up having 2 sacks this game. He was all over the field. He was basically their best player on defense, probably the best player the whole game for the Dallas Cowboys, if you want to be truly honest. But I give credit to the defense for the simple fact that, they give up a touchdown, but they held the game as long as they can to actually at least have a chance to win it. So Dak was able to actually execute and get him into the end zone at all. Because they held him to field goal, and it took a miraculous catch by Mike Evans, to which we'll get to in a minute, for them to actually pull through and actually bust to win the game. So shout out to the Dallas defense. They play really great. Shout out to Wilson for getting an interception on Brady, bro. But all in all, that was a bad game for Dallas and Jerry World, and now they're gonna be looking for answers at QB since Dak is gonna be out for a good amount of weeks now. So now when we go to the Buccaneers side, Tom Brady had an average game at best for Tom Brady standards, but that really wasn't even the focus for what they needed to do, honestly, bro. But just get that out of the way. Tom Brady had an average game. He threw a touchdown, but also threw an interception. He went for barely over 200 yards. I think 212 yards exactly when he went for it. But he was actually getting pressured for most of the game too. I seen him taking hits he shouldn't take hits at 45 years old. But Tom Brady doing Tom Brady things. He was able to execute and making that one big play that every great QB needs to make to where they actually get the touchdown for him to win the game. Everything. So props to Tom Brady for that. Oh yeah, then of course shout out to Mike Evans for that amazing catch, that one-hand grab to get that touchdown, to which put him over to win the game effectively, basically. That was an amazing catch to even adjust to that throw that Tom Brady made. So that was great. He actually went for 5 catches for 71 yards and that touchdown. But shout out to Mike Evans for that catch though, because of course he's using his 5 length to actually make the catch, but he played really good for that to be the game winner basically. So shout out to him. Also shout out to Leonard Fournette for having a really good game against the Dallas Cowboys. He was basically one of the bigger reasons why that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to win this game. Before I say the stats, this was a great block for Leonard Fournette. Even though Michael Parsons was getting blocked, it was still great for him to actually hit him and not make sure Michael Parsons was a non-factor in that play, to be honest. Nevertheless, him laying the boom on Michael Parsons. Leonard Fournette had a great game. He had 21 carries for 127 yards rushing. Basically, the Basically, the Leonard Fournette was just wearing down that Dallas Cowboys defense. They basically had no type of answer for him. And the backup running back, I can't remember his name, my bad, but he was actually pretty effective too for him. Leonard Fournette being that bruiser what he was, it just basically just what he does, honestly, man. Like, I remember people just get onto him for being overweight during training camp, but he literally slimmed down looking like the great weight for him, bro, and he had himself a great showing in this game. Honestly, he's one reason why they were able to win the game, so good job from them for now on that. Antoine Winfield Jr. had a great game. He had one interception. Then Villa was really great too at the D-tackle position. Had himself a sack himself, but Devin White's the MVP of the defense this game, bro. Had himself 8 total tackles and 2 sacks this game, bro. He was the driving force of that defense. Made plays when you need to make plays, and one reason why that Prescott was just uncomfortable in the pocket, bro, and basically effectively why they're able to win the game too. So overall, great performance by the Buccaneers, and on to the next game against the New Orleans Saints. And then we have the Monday Night Football game, the first one this season. We have the Seattle Seahawks spoiling Russell Wilson's homecoming game, bro. Winning the game 17-16. And before I actually ran by the actual Denver Broncos and how they lost, I just want to give a big round of applause to Seattle and winning this game after they were basically being just complete underdogs this game. This is definitely the biggest upset of this weekend for sure, because no one expected the Seahawks to actually pull off the win the way they actually won it. But yeah, man, I got a lot to say about the Denver Broncos, but we're gonna get to Seattle first, bro. First things first, man. Shout out to Geno Smith with a really great game for him. To be honest, bro, this was an unexpected game for him to play like this. I mean, shoot, for him had that quote during the game, man. They wrote me off, I ain't right back. That's a great quote. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's a great quote. But he was really good the first half, bro. The first half was really good. Like the Broncos defense really had no answer for that Seahawks offense with them in the first half. The second half he kind of tailed off a little bit. They were getting more stops. They made the adjustment they needed to make. The Broncos did, but it was actually enough to where like the Seahawks were able to win the game. So, but I ain't gonna lie though, we took that sack in the fourth quarter and they gave the Denver the ball back. I thought I was gonna be the reason why they lose the game, honestly, but it wasn't, cause it was a bad sack he took. But all in all, he had a really great game, especially in the first half. He ended up finishing with 80% passing with 195 yards and 2 touchdowns, and 2 touchdowns basically all in the first half. So he did enough to win the game, and like I'm glad he was able to actually win this game for Seattle in the 12th man. So I'm glad he was able to win that game for him. I cannot believe I'm actually going to say this, especially in 2022, especially when Russell Wilson not on the team anymore. But the Seattle Seahawks offensive line was actually great. They were actually great. It was also 2 rookies starting at left tackle and right tackle, man. Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas, like themselves, bro. They're the first 2 rookie duos to actually start left tackle and right tackle in the season debut since the Jaguars in 2009. And them 2 was really great holding up the offensive line for them, bro. Now, of course, the Broncos defense made adjustments, and Charles Cross had Bradley Chubb basically going at him for basically the whole game. And around fourth quarter time, like Bradley Chubb was able to get to the QB twice with 2 sacks, but all in all, those two rookies, bro, they was able to like hold down the offensive line, the tackle position for Geno Smith. Now, honestly, Geno Smith didn't give any favors because Geno Smith doesn't really sense presence, unfortunately, like that, like other QBs can, like the top QBs can. But all in all, these 2 rookies, bro, hats off to him, bro. They was able to take Geno Smith and make sure he had a clean pocket for most of the game. And those 2 should be the future tackles for him, bro, handling the front 7 that Broncos have. I'll tell Seattle Seahawks defense, bro, they were really great, especially in the coverage. But shout out to Jordan Brooks. He led the team in tackles with 12 tackles in total. He was everywhere around the ball, man. He was able to get the tackles they need just for him to like Russell Wilson and the Broncos for them to like not be that effective on offense. He was just everywhere, man, around the ball where you need him the most. He's gonna be really great as a linebacker for him to replace the legendary Bobby Wagner. He's gonna be that good, honestly. Also, shout out to Seattle Seahawks new acquisition, Uchenna Nwosu, the former LA Charger, he had himself a great game with 7 total tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble. I think he forced a fumble on Melvin Gordon, if I'm maybe serving it correctly, but he was really great. I seen him flash on the field a couple of times, bro. He was really great for him. Then also shout out to Tariq Woolen, bro. He even though he didn't play as good as you want to be, he was able to play really good against a talented wide receiver core. Now, just to go over the Broncos defense for like just a second. Broncos defense was like they were getting torched by Geno Smith for most of the game. And then fourth quarter they was able to clutch up somewhat, but Bradley Chubb was the defensive player of the game for them. He only gets 6 total tackles and 2 sacks, all in the fourth quarter, and the forced fumble too. He really was great in the fourth quarter, and he was basically that game maker for them to like have a chance to win the game. But that's all I gotta say about that defense right there. Actually, I lied. Shout out to Patrick Surtain the second too, man. He actually had a really good game, but other than that, the Denver Broncos defense was kind of just disappointing, if you want to be honest. All right, so I'm just going to combine both together, the placing blame on Russell Wilson and new coach Nathaniel Hackett. Now, Russell Wilson, even though he had 304 yards and a touchdown, it felt like he left like a lot of points on the board just from the get-go, because it just felt like him and Nathaniel Hackett were just unprepared for this game at all. Like, literally a couple times, bro. Like even especially in the second half, in the third quarter, there was 2 times where they had delayed games. And honestly, like it was so many times during the game where like this clock was just down to like 1 second, and it'll probably hit 0. They'll just barely snap the ball off, and just the whole like play would just be all messed up, and this team wouldn't just be ready on offense at all. Like it was just that bad to look at. It made me cringe like the whole time just watching the offense just look like that, honestly. And Russell Wilson, he missed a good amount of throws. He was just scrambling around the pocket a little too much. He was actually getting pressure too, surprisingly enough, from what we were thought to be the improvement of what Seattle had in the offensive line. But most of his blame goes to Nathaniel Hackett, honestly, because I understand he's the first-year head coach. It's his first time being a head coach, but this was just him not being prepared for this game, bro. Like, there were so many times where, like, he had some questionable play calling. He would have some of the wrong players be in at the wrong time. Like, especially in the goal line, where the first time when Melvin Gordon was at the goal line, oh, that reminds me, in the goal line, they had 3 opportunities to get touched, 3 whole goal line red zone chances to get touchdowns, and they weren't able to do it. Like, twice they fumbled, like, inside the 5-yard line, with Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams both fumbling. And the Javonte Williams one was a weird one, because the clock, like I said, the clock will go down to, like, 0 seconds. And they were in shotgun, and they had to snap the ball as quickly as possible to where the offensive line was able to generate, like, the push. And Javonte Williams basically was able to get the ball the way he should get it. When you hand it off to him, he ended up throwing the ball like close to the end zone, like that, and resulting in a touchback too. So that was definitely bad. Melvin Gordon one, like Melvin Gordon just known for fumbling the ball, so there's that with him. That's another thing. Melvin Gordon actually got more carries than Javonte Williams, which actually doesn't sit well with me, because Javonte Williams was it's honestly a better runner of the ball than Melvin Gordon. He should be what Javonte Williams was doing the whole time. That was being the receiving back, because that's really what Melvin Gordon should be doing. Then we're just gonna go to the fourth quarter, where we know all about that controversial like 4th down, the 4th and 5. Now that whole last drive of the game, it was bad clock management by Nathaniel Hackett. Like, he had ample opportunity to use his timeouts, but after the 3rd and 5 stop, he ended up just deciding to like just go for the field goal and not trying for the 4th down, even though it was a 4-yard that Brandon McManus would have to make. He already made his mind made up, just go for the field goal. And the worst part was he had 3 timeouts left already before he called that timeout in the 4th quarter. He just didn't utilize his own timeouts the way he should utilize a coach. Like, it was just cringe to watch. And really, the thing actually kind of was one of the big reasons why like they were able to lose this game, bro. Like this game was just for them to win, and then they were just not prepared at all. Like it was that bad for them. But that's my rant on them. No shade to the Seattle Seahawks. Great win for them. Great win for them. That actually spoiled Russell's homecoming. But I just had to rant about the Broncos and Russell Wilson. The thing because it was just that bad to look at the whole entire time. Just so you know, I'm not a Broncos fan, but like I had to get that off my chest because it was just frustrating to look at. But with that being said, though, like, comment, subscribe to the video, man. Thank you for watching this recap of Primetime Week 1. The game for the games, man. Like it is so great to have football season back this year, bro. It's so great to have it back. I'm just excited for Week 2. I'm excited to like just give my recap on this Thursday's game, bro, between the Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. But until next time, bro, Nosley 27 is about to sign out, and y'all have a great day.